totally. I'm a member of the community. I'm with Candor. So you guys need to tell me in the chat who your favorite is, or make cases. And it looks like I'm already seeing Wakander. All right, so Bakma, are you saying yours is Wakander? Can I put you down on Wakander? Then we'll move on. Emma says, I think Wick is the coolest from a narrative perspective, but I think Cadigan is the coolest, most interesting as a standalone so far, probably because of how well Robbie is building the intrigue. That's fair. That is fair, Emma. But which one is your choice? I think Sam has given Wakander the most depth of the fights for heavily integrating the world story, both funny and emotional moments. I agree with that, John. That's kind of where I'm going. Right now, if I had to watch a movie, it would be about Wick. I watch a TV show about Cadigan. Ooh, okay. What game is this? What's up, Toast? This is the game of life. Thanks for the rose, mode of possibilities. Appreciate that. All right, so we have a Loki says Cadigan, so we'll throw one in there for Cadigan. I'm guessing John is going with Wakander. Kathy says Cadigan. Cadigan's up to 2. Oh. Dane goes with Cadigan. Whoa, I did not expect this at all. Thimble is lower belly. Mode of possibilities gives 1 to Thimble. Okay. Glad to see this here stuff doing well. I've enjoyed watching it. Yeah, for the most part. It's been doing okay, man. Hope you're doing okay. Which one was the one with the familiar? Elmer, that is Cadigan. Wolfric is with Cadigan. I feel Robbie's a great player. I can see when he pulls on the threads that Brennan says, oh, I agree that I've enjoyed him as a player a lot. When he understood, when he pulled on the threads, and also when he understood the dynamic, where he was like, my character's decision would be to not support or be okay with Tyranny stealing the dagger. But I also know as a player at this table that I want to respect that they were about to have their moment. Brennan and her set this up. So I'm going to try to meet them in the middle. So I thought that was beautifully done. I also love that he recognizes things above the table where he'll be like, above the table, I know this and this or that and that, but my character does, so I'm going to do this because this is my character. The acknowledgement of that and being able to kind of cipher through what may be metagaming and not react to like do it that way, I think is great. So Robbie as a player, I'm a big fan. I wish we had longer to see the characters. Tora is just some bad luck. I'll do Cadigan for the intrigue. Stephanie gives it to Cadigan too. Emma gives it to Cadigan too. Holy smokes! Earthlings goes to chess. You got some subtle. Did I already say for Dane? Did I mark you down, Dane? Do you know if I marked you down? Oh, no, I did, because you said I'm going with Cadigan, and then you later on said I'm choosing Cadigan because, okay, I did. He's got some subtle things going on, but he's quiet character at a loud table. That's also true. He is quiet compared to the rest. Yeah, that Loki, that scene where he's like, did you take that knife? I loved that emotion. Like, that was fantastic. And as a player afterwards, he was like, hey, are you good? To Whitney to make sure, like, hey, you know, this is just an act, right? Like, we're just role playing. You know, you're safe here. I like that. Didn't mark me. Elmer, who did you? Sorry, this is again. You guys were not supposed to vote, but there was 5 choices. And YouTube would only let me do 4. I guess I could have done like a straw poll, but then you guys have to like go deal with that, and I don't want to make you do that. So. Okay, Edwin goes with Thimble. And Elmer goes with Cat. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I expected Wick and Tyranny to be the top 2, Thimble to be behind them, and then Cadigan and Taylor to be the bottom. So this is actually like not at all what I would have thought. Like, if you would have said, who is the person you think is least likely to be the community favorite, I probably would have said Cadigan right now. So that's kind of, that's wild. He's gotten so many votes. It's cool though. I mean, I like him. John says Cadigan would be second for me. Still think Robbie has so much in the chamber there. Agreed. And he's had the most laugh out loud moment. So I respect y'all's call. I'm always yeah, I think Robbie's fantastic. Emma says, I love the way Sam is playing Wick, but it's Sam and story as opposed to Wick. Movies are about plot, TV shows are about characters. That's my rationale. Hey, Emma, you thought it through. You thought it through. No, that's, yeah. We don't hold Robbie's bad rolls against Cadigan. No, that's fair. He's rolled really bad, but I mean, for who's rolled worse, I think you might have to go with Travis. I think Tayor has been the absolute worst. If anybody hasn't already given their vote, now is your time, guys. Throw your vote in the chat for who your favorite soldier is at the table. I think Thimble or Tayor are community least favorite, and hot take, maybe Travis and Laura lost of their early campaign matching a character creation. Well, what are we up to? We are doing community tier list. Tales of Exandria and Araman. We are doing this, letting people in the chat vote for who their favorites are in different things. Wick is my favorite. Lil Bun comes in and gives another one to Wick, which only puts him at half of Cadigan's. Wick, because he is not a soldier. Tales of Exandria is going for Wick. All right, Wick's climbing back. Daniel says, I'm doing Wick because I played the scene with basically saves the party from the Fae over and over in my head. So that was a really epic moment. Did I already count yours down, Daniel, or no? Daniel Colby, I know we have a couple Daniels in here. I don't know if I marked yours already. Because one of them is mine, one of them is Lil Bun Bun, one of them is Tales of Exandria. So unless there was one from somebody else, then it is yours, but I'm not sure. Dr. Caliban says Cadigan. Okay, right when I thought like we're catching up. This is shocking to me. I truly did not think Cadigan would be top of the thing here. You don't think so? Okay, well, I'm willing to give him an extra. No, I think we're good. I could, or somebody could scroll up and see if there's somebody else who went. Really real quick. Okay, Cadigan. Going with Cadigan. Wick. I think I did count yours, Daniel. I see it up towards the top. But let me keep scrolling to see if there was another one. But I think I did count yours. Yeah. All right. So we're going back to 4. Yeah, so what we did, guys, we did a community vote to start the stream where people voted on what they wanted to do first for tier lists. The options were player characters from the soldiers table, NPCs and episodes, and then other if you wanted something else. The soldiers player characters won, so we're doing the tier list on that first. David James says Thimble be my vote. She's complex and interesting both story and character wise. All right, Thimble gets a vote. She's up to 3. Tayor and Tyranny, nothing so far. Wait, Bach, I didn't get yours then. Do you pick Wick as well? All right, then we're definitely at 5. Yes, Jimmy, we are doing favorites for player characters right now. But Robbie said, I love Robbie. I think Robbie's fantastic. Love him at the table. But I would not have thought Cadigan would be the favorite right now. I think Cadigan has given us the least of everybody at the table. And so for him to be the favorite is just super unexpected. I'd vote for Wick. Owen coming in. All right, there we go. Cadigan's getting caught up. Owen with the vote. That's what I meant. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. Robbie's so contagious. Again, I love Robbie. I think Robbie's fantastic. He's just done the least. Mama Hun's favorite. Oh, with the first vote for Tayor coming from Mama Hun. Love that. Cat has the aura. I mean, yeah, it's a handsome dude. He's got the accent. It's a dangerous word out there. Sorry, something on my throat. I didn't do it right. Moving on. We had that. Let's go over Bachman's thing. Said Wick is number 1, Tyranny is number 2, Cat is number 3, Tayor is number 4, Thimble is number 5 from Bach. Okay. You say Wick, Tyranny, but almost a package deal. Well, if you have to pick one, Jimmy, I can't give half points here. Are you going Wick or Tyranny? I need to know for the vote. Loki says Cadigan is number 1, Wick number 2, Tierney number 3, Tayor, and two people gave Thimble number 5. I might also, though, if I'm being honest, I might also. Can't get Taylor pregnant or Travis. Yeah, either or. Like, that's true. Watching Robin came in 3 is so much fun too, says Daniel. That's what I think too. He's done the least, but I still like him. That's fair. Jimmy locks in for Wick. We have a tie ball game, people. Tie ball game with Cadigan and Wick fighting for number 1. Tayor gets 1, Thimble gets 3, Tierney currently has none, which is interesting to me because of the number of people who tell me they think Tierney is so fun and so whatever, and right now we have, 18 votes. 18 votes are in right now. And there's 24 people in here, so somebody didn't vote. I voted. So I'm not even in the 24, and I voted. My vote went to Wick. And you can't take away my vote, just so we're clear. You're not allowed. Tierney's one of those cosplay super. Oh, there's no doubt. She's got a super cool vibe. Like, in terms of her appearance, I can 100% imagine people doing that. My 5 is Taylor, but only because I expect more from Travis. Tara's still be cool, though. Oh, absolutely. Is it favorite character or coolest? Okay, we vote for Cadigan because we know so little. He would have been furthest of all. No, my idea was favorite. Like, who is your favorite character? Not just like who do you think's the coolest. Some people may find that interchangeable. They'll be like, well, if it's my favorite because it's the coolest. But we're going for favorite. This is, who is your favorite? Here, maybe I'll add it to the top here. Vote for favorite soldier character. Will it let me do that if it's title? I want it all on the same line. There we go. But only Tayor is Tayor. Yeah, no, that was an awesome line. Only Tayor is Tayor. I know it's hard to put someone at last. No, that's fair. That's so interesting to me because Tierney would be my 5th by a decent amount. I haven't gotten there yet on the character. I've been back and forth with her. I've said it a lot. Anybody who's been in all my pre-shows, you know, like, but the first episode, I did not like Tierney at all. Episode 1, least favorite. Grew on me from like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Had a little bit of a slip up, I think, around 5th or 6th. Came back a little bit more, dipped back a little bit. Like, she's been kind of upper, but she's also new. Like, to D&D, to this whole, she's new. So I'm giving wiggle room with that. Yeah. Jason, or is that your vote? Are you going Tayor first, Jason? Is Tayor your number 1? Shall I put you down in the Tayor category? I did get Mama Huns. She says her overalls are Tayor, then Cadigan, then Wick, Thimble, and then Tierney. Okay, so you just like all the boys, Mama Hun. What is that? What about the ladies? Preview for the soldiers or the person playing? That's also true. You're supposed to be voting for the character, but the character is intrinsically tied to the player, so. Oh, okay, Jimmy, you're swapping. You're swapping from Wick to Tierney. Speedster, no, it does not. There is no Critical Role tonight. It is next week it comes back. Yeah. I thought Tierney grew on me a good bit in the second half of the overture. His lost business is separation. Yeah, that's kind of how I was a little bit. Still not like gone, but yeah, like Tales of Xander said on TikTok, back next week on the 15th. Tierney, my girl. Yo, what up, Sherry? Is Tierney your vote? Also, I'm going to swap the person, Jimmy, you said you wanted to go Tierney. And Sherry, is that your vote? Are you saying that you rank her as your favorite? This is your favorite character in the group. If that's the case, Tierney went from having none to 2. I feel like I influenced it because I brought it up. And now she's got 2. I don't know. Okay. All are good characters so far, but I'm mostly drawn to mystery, story, lore, and Cat has almost none so far. Wick and Taylor, great character, but predictable. Thimble and Tierney have good lore to see. Okay. I think Wick is just more important to the table. Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah. I mean, when you build somebody that's like, basically was nearing the head of a house and broke away from all this, I do think he's gotten a little bit more of the limelight in the story so far. For sure. For sure. Oops, can I do this? Will that show? Yeah. All right. Can we not this time? Okay. Yeah, no, I was just double checking to make sure people, I want to make sure I'm getting everybody's votes. I think I've gotten everybody's. If you haven't already voted, because there are 29 people, I love how seriously we're all taking this. I was kind of hoping for that, though. Like, if we're being honest, I was kind of hoping that people would be, like, legitimately, like, this is my favorite, versus just, like, saying things in the chat. Ellie says, Tayor, can't wait for a story to come through. Ellie, can I mark you down? Is Tayor your favorite? That's what I need to know. Ellie on TikTok. Hope you didn't take my, no, not yours. Not yours, Zendra. It was Jimmy. Jimmy said that if that was the case, if it was favorites, then it went to, Tyranny instead of Wick. He is, yeah. All right. Tayor moves to 2. How many votes we got now? 7, 3, 10, 6, 4. We're at 20 votes. We're at 20 votes, and that includes votes from TikTok. So some of y'all on YouTube need to throw your votes in the chat. Let's see. While I am back and forth with Wick and Thimble, Laura has done some heavy lifting. Her being in character and ending up with so many kills, she's a lot tougher than I thought she would be. I'm not going to go in my tirade about why she's so tough. We know how I feel about it. But I do agree. She got to be the one who had really epic moments. I don't know that I love Thimble as a character yet. I don't know that I like the personality hasn't been there as much for me. But I do think in terms of epic moments, she's gotten him because she got to be the one who got, you know, the crit desperate measures on the night of Saramai. She's the one who got to kill Casimir with that awesome line at the end of "Can you hear it now?" Right? She got these really cool epic moments. She got to have the relationships with the fairies at Hawthorne's Glade. She got to have the relationship with the fairies, the Black Rabbits, right? So she's been there a lot. If we don't get lore backstory for Cadigan soon into next round, though, I'll change my answer next poll. Okay. All right. I'll remember that, Emma. Display right, but sing Fairy Rogue is something cool I didn't expect. Yeah, I think I'm curious how much being, you know, a 4-inch fairy is like it's an odd thing because there's no detriment to it, right? I mean, sure, they might have given her like a 3 strength, but yeah, there's like no detriment to being that small, and I think there should be. Other than just you have no strength. Similar vibes for me with Imogen. Not sure about Thimble. I think I might like Thimble a little bit more. That's okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's such a stark contrast because she was so beloved as Jester, and then to swap to somebody who's got like a more serious tone, and not even like a middle ground, but like a serious sort of tone, and like I'm a real killer, you know, like I'm an assassin rogue, you know, I'm a swashbuckler, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, it's very different. To honor a member of the Soldier Stable, Skinner. We'll get to those people in a little bit. We're going to do, so we're starting with the Soldier Stable. If you haven't already cast your vote, I'm going to give 1 or 2 minutes for people to do the final voting for this. We'll wrap this up and we will move down. I'll start a new poll on YouTube right now. And this one will be to decide the next poll. And we will say, what next? Tier list. And we will go with NPCs, episodes, dialogue, and then the 4th option will be other. All right, so we'll start this poll on YouTube. So you guys can help decide the next one. Yeah, Ravi has been very interesting so far, playing things close to the chest. I give it only because the magic aura is her form. I mean, I kind of understand it, but it's also like, I don't know. Laura got a bit frustrated with her weapons not doing damage. In the last episode, most of others didn't even hit, and she did the heavy hits. And I've said this, I don't know if you've seen any of my stuff on it. She's done a lot of the heavy hits, but she's also doing more damage than she's supposed to. She's also getting advantage when she's not supposed to. So it makes the contrast so much worse because other players are rolling really bad and then she's doing more than she's supposed to. And so it makes it just wildly different. Instead of like they're rolling bad and you're just like playing normal, then you're right here. But when they're playing bad and you're like doing more than you're supposed to, there's a huge gap. Like it's a massive gap. Ranking combat so far. Okay, that could be one. That could be. I'm open to that. I'm gonna jot this down. Next options. NPCs. We had enough good combat. That's fair. We've had what, 4 combats? 4 combats. Say episodes. And by dialogues, I really just meant like one-liners, right? Like stuff like that. One-liners, and then we'll say combats. These are just for me to remember what we may do next. It's not just me. No, not at all. Again, some of it you can't control. Like if the players are rolling badly, can't do anything about that. But it does make it a more stark contrast when she's doing extra damage, or she's, you know, she's getting advantage when she's not supposed to. That means you are hitting more often. That means you are more likely to get crits, right? The more D20s you roll, the more likely you are to have a crit, like that sort of thing. So, biggest character moments. I think it's awesome that we feel the weight of Theodicy's death through Thimble's grief, not just the impact of the world, but the emotional side of it. Yeah, she did really well with that. We have our favorite character, but in my opinion, the coolest character of the soldiers is not my favorite. I don't know if that could be a vote at all. Coolest versus favorite. So people were asking what this meant, and when I said favorite, some people changed theirs, which is fine. Also, last chance, guys. Last chance to throw your votes in for favorite soldier character. And then we're going to jump into the next one, which looks like it's going to be NPCs. So we're going to have to, it's going to be a long list for that. I'm going to cut some out. Like, I'm not going to do Sir Finch or Sir Copswood. We're going to try to stick to some. Or else there'll just be so many that don't have a vote. I heard how I feel the death and why they're interested in me. He's key for the story. Yeah, I mean, Theozi's the breaking point, right? Like that set up everything that we are seeing. I'm ready to tell my critical. Yes, we are, Jay. Yes, we are. Remember his name, Olbed Morn. Ellie, don't worry, I remember him because I love him. That is Olbed Morn. If you're talking about the gnome man with the 3 daughters. Mystery, coffin, mask, etc. Ooh. Biggest mystery. I just watch the show develop and not read the description, so there's more surprises. Oh yeah, some stuff is given away, Elmer. There's no doubt. All right. So for those of you who just joined, I'm giving you 30 seconds. Hopefully you're hearing this. You're in the live portion. 30 seconds to cast your vote for who your favorite soldier character is, if you haven't already, and then we're moving on. So this is your last chance to cast your favorite soldier character vote in the chat. Just type it in the chat. I'll mark it. Yo, it's Tricky. Thanks for the like on TikTok. It's showing tonight. No, it is not keeping it a bean. It comes back next week, which is why we're jumping in tonight. We're having some fun. We're doing some tier lists from the community. You guys are voting on your favorite characters, episodes, NPCs, and stuff like that. And then next week, we'll jump back in with the pre-show. I'm also realizing that my camera is blocking the options. I don't know where to put me. Put me over here. Move chat over there. For those of you on YouTube. Most anticipated. Okay. Just hanging out? Yeah, just hanging out. You vote Cat. All right, Cat again gets... That's your favorite character, keeping it a bean. Your favorite character is Cat. All right. 10, where this is my countdown for votes before we move on. Favorite character would definitely be Wick. Ooh, they would have been tied if keeping it a bean didn't go Cat, but Cat again is winning right now. All right, last votes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, we got one more for Thimble. Tricky says Wick. Rochelle says, well, oh, we got 2 more for Wick. Is Wick taking it at the end? 2 more for Wick. Oh, and all right. That was 4. I stopped at, I think, 4 or 3. So we're going back to 5. 5, 4. I'm giving you guys time. 3, 2, 1. We're locking it in. We're locking it in. Oh, Inferno! You're just slightly too late, but I'm gonna get your vote in there anyway. 9-9. We're cutting it right there. Cat and Wikander tied for the #1 spot at 9 votes apiece. That's it. We are calling it there. No more votes. What's the obnoxious line? Stop the count. The count is over. There we go. All right. So total votes. What do we got here? 9, 9, 18, 22, 24, 26 votes. And we are there locked in with 26 votes. Let me put it down. Boom. It's a Candle Feast miracle. And then I'm going to bold these. Boom. So it feels right for the campaign so far. What I see in the community, there you go. They didn't just kill Octus while they had to put the stone in his chest. Well, partially because narratively it was supposed to happen. Like Octus wanted to play a hollowed one, and so they were going to do it in the game. And it's some sort of lore thing related to what they were going to do with him. We just don't know, Loki. All right, next options. It looks like NPCs wins by, with 17 votes, wins by a mile. So we're going to start our NPCs list. Favorite NPC. All right, insert. There's going to be more of these, so let's go ahead and do like, I don't know, 6. All right, so I'm going to throw a couple up here first, and then you guys tell me if I'm like missing anybody. We're going to say Obed Morn. Gnome. We're going to say Primus Taconis. We're going to say Aranessa. We're going to say so here's it. Do I want to do the hounds as one or separate? Like, do I want Hawkins and Dame Morgaine separate or together? Because if I do them together, I feel like they're gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna do the Photarch. Halavar Photarch, that is his grandmother. Oh. The Black Rabbits. Oh, I could split NPC, like I could split like Primus out because I also think Univir deserves to be on here with the skull face, but I could like slot them out. The twins or the Taylors. The Hag, really? You like Sallow? You think Sallow deserves to be on here? Okay, I think her name was Sallow, right? The Black Rabbits, yeah, I got the Black Rabbits on here. The one that we talked to is Clonny the Rose/Thorn. Sometimes I impress myself for remembering these things. Hal's kids. I don't know if you saw my tier list, Stephanie. I did a tier list of the NPCs. Let me tell you right now, Shadia was the only one in like the D tier. Okay, I don't care about them kids. Skinner, yes, Skinner and Honeysuckle, I think should be on here. Yeah, the list will get better if I separate those. All right, so we want to take off Primus. I'm gonna throw those down here. Primus, the Halavar Photarch, I think we consider a villain. Univir. I don't care about them either. Wait, Dame Cosgrove. Dame Cosgrove made a villain? What? Villains and NPC separate? Okay. Okay, where do we draw the line? Like the Taylors or the, I guess we'll do the Taylors as villains as well. The rest of these are okay for here, yeah? Am I missing somebody you guys think need to be on here? Sala was a villain. You think so? I mean, she was like chilling with the fairies and stuff. I don't know. Oh, Thiazi? We want to put Thiazi on here? I mean, he's dead, but I'll put him on here. He's missing, but he's a villain. Okay, Kazia, we'll throw Casimir in here. This is good. The next one, we'll do the villains next. Also, I'm so joining your Discord later. Heck yeah, Jay. If you guys didn't know, yeah, Discord is linked in the description below on YouTube. Trying to set people to be killed with the Wraith Tree. That's pretty evil. Ah, fair enough. You just wait. He's coming back. I believe he could. I believe he could. Is Wix Grant on there, or are we just doing who interacts with that table? No, she is. That's how the Halavar Photarch. Because her exact name is escaping me. Yanessa. She's going to be on the villains table. So we'll do that one next. We'll do that one next. So I'll say favorite villain. So for right now, it's favorite NPC. Are we missing any NPCs on the table right now? The deer from Taisha, Wick's grandpa. I mean, he's not really an NPC we can put on the list, right? Like, that's not... Any of the old CR players that came back? Wait, what do you mean, Elmer? So fine as a goth? Yeah, no, they honestly, a lot of them looked really good as a goth. All right. Dame Cosgrove. Oh, as an NPC, yeah. We'll be, because when you said it as a villain. Or somebody did. All right, Dame Cosgrove. All right. Do we have other NPCs? Showed him the angel. Wait. No, that's his dad. Are you talking about Wick's dad? Roma, because his grandfather's is the angel. His grandfather's the angel. Are you talking about where he takes off the blindfold and like sprouts the wings and stuff? Because that's his dad. Tyranny's sisters. Did we see them enough to do that? We'll put them together. Tyranny's sisters. Oh, no, I mean his grandma. Oh no, his grandma is awesome. She's down here in the villains. That's Yanessa Halavar, the Photarch. I love the grandma. Who was the guy who was telling Brienne how about the follow the god in the theater? Oh, the older orc. The older orc. I don't remember. Was that in episode 2 or 3? Uli. His name was Uli. U-L-I. I don't know if, like, he's worthy. Again, guys, try to, when we're doing this, because there's a lot of characters we could list. For now, let's try to, like, do, like, main ones that people will know or do it. I know that, like, maybe Uli is your favorite, but, like, you know, is he going to compete against Obed Morn, Skinner, the Black Rabbits, Hawkins, and stuff like that? I just don't know. But I'll put him on there. When they came back as NPCs. Well, this is just campaign 4, Elmer. Did somebody come back as an NPC? Julian's after villain. He's on the list. Primus Taconis. All right. So for right now, let's just do NPCs. We can add villains afterwards. So is there another NPC that we believe is worthy of being on this list? We have Obed Morn. We have, I'll add Lady here. Lady Aranessa, Hawkins, Hound, Dame Morgaine, Hound, Thiazi, the Black Rabbits, Dame Cosgrove, Tierney's Sisters, Uli, Skinner, Honeysuckle, and Shadia. Hal / Taisha's daughter. And now that we have this list, it is time to cast your votes. All right, let's get your votes in the chat. All right, now is the time to make your case or put your vote for the NPCs. Oh, should be on the villains list, is what you're saying. Okay, we could try that. We'll take Tyranny's Sisters off. We'll put them on the villains list. All right. I mean, my vote is still going to be for the Hounds of the King equally that had meaningful impact. They were in multiple episodes. They contribute to the lore and the world building. I like that. Did we get Thiazi's wife? Lady Aranessa? Hawkins by a mile. He's most impressive with some of the best lines. Do it now! I like that. All right, so right now it looks like Dane, we can't do equally. So right now I'm going to do 2, and you tell me if you're picking Hawkins or Dame Morgaine. Kathy says Olbid. Jin says Black Rabbits. Loki says Lady Aranessa. Ellie says Olbid. I think I had for Hawkins, I had Daniels, and somebody else says. David says Hawkins. All right, we're going to 3. Wick, Gmaul for villain. Well, we're not doing the villain vote yet. Did I get Emma? Did I get your vote? This is hard. This is. I think I did. I got yours and Daniel's, and then I asked for Dane to share. Which one? The Black Rabbits were a ton of fun, but I too went to vote for Hawkins. Kevin Hope says, but Dame Morgaine is close. I agree. I almost want to put the Hounds together because they're both so awesome. So that's Kevin's vote. Mama Hunt says Lady Aranessa. That's Mama Hunt's vote. Same then, Black Rabbits. Sherry, I think I marked yours down, and then you had changed, and then you went back. Okay. I'm so torn. Olbid Rabbits or Hawkins? It's a tough one, little bun. It's a tough one. Roma says Dame Morgaine. Okay. Mama will. I don't have my readers. I might be able to make it a little bit larger for you. Hold on just a second. How is that? It makes it. Yeah. Can you read it a little bit better now? Try to help you out, Jason. You have 2 votes for Lady A on TikTok. Okay. Let me double check. I want to make sure I didn't catch either one. Already. Doesn't look like it. So Lady Aranessa is getting up to 4 then. You should the Hounds get like a team. I agree with that. Daniel says Lady Aranessa. I honestly didn't like Lady Aranessa that much. This is kind of crazy. Elmer says Olbid. Also, that was me counting the ones on TikTok. That was me counting Daniel Coble. And this is me counting Olbid for Elmer. This is hard. Dame Morgaine for Red Sag. Dame Morgaine is going up. Vengeful says Dame Morgaine. What's up, Vengeful? Stephanie, Aranessa by far. Really dig her. Can't wait to see her chin into a bat. Ooh. All right. That's another for Lady Aranessa. Oh, J and you. Okay. Who is Uli? Yeah, Uli is the orc that shares details about, that's, yeah. So for now, I'm going to take him off because I don't think he's going to get votes, and I don't want to have to, like, explain it. But he was the older orc that told them, that talked to Taisha and Shadia and whatever at the place. I like Hawkins takes. I think Hawkins takes it just barely. Okay, little bun giving it to Hawkins, who is not winning right now, is losing to Lady Aranessa, which is crazy. which I'm gonna double check because I don't know if I already. They might be tied because I don't remember if I counted Jay's already. To bust the tie goes specifically with Hawkins. Okay, if you go with Hawkins to bust the tie, there we go. We're now tied that way. Jimmy says Lady Aranessa. Is that your? Have I gotten your answer yet? If not, Jimmy, Lady Aranessa. Black Rabbits are definitely number 2 for me though. Yeah, they're great. Skinner, I can turn off the chat for a second. It's fine, thanks. Oh, Jason Skinner. Okay. I'm gonna travel back to the beginning of the stream, but want to hit that line and get, hey, appreciate it. And Mr. Malicious says Hawkins number 1, so we're gonna count his vote. We are counting Mr. Malicious's vote. Remind me who Hawkins is again. Hawkins is the big dog, the hound, like one of the hounds of the king. So the 3 that we have, we didn't put Feltower on this list, but you have Dame Morgaine and then you have Hawkins as the 2 hounds. Hawkins is the one who like they see looking all tough and big across the pond or whatever, the river, the stream, and then he's also the one who tackles Sir Gully breaches. 2 from this, I feel like someone is missing, but I don't know who. There might be. Your runner-ups are Old Morn and Black Rabbits, and my throwaways are Honeysuckle and Shadia. That's fair. And the internet went out. Refresh if... Let me type that here. Refresh if needed. Net went out for a second. I'm here. Hasn't paused yet. Oh, well, it definitely showed me as offline on my end, but so I'll just type that there. Ellie, thanks for liking the live. Hawkins is who killed Sir Ellie Breaches. Yep. Hawkins for you, Edwin, locking in for a Hawkins. All right. Wolf and NPC. Do we want to put Wulfric on here? I mean, I don't know. He's an NPC, but he's not like an NPC, right? He's not somebody that Brennan plays. Like, it's just another, like, a part of Cadigan. So I don't think I'd put that on here. If we had, like, favorite companions, then I might do that. I think my Cosgrove vote got missed. It did. It did. Let me go ahead and put Cosgrove on here. There you go. It was funny to me with her reaction when they first met her. Oh, she was awesome. She was awesome. Tricky, did I get yours? Love the Hounds would have to go Hawkins. Did I get your vote? Say no. Okay, then let me do that. All right, there we go. So right now, again, if anybody else has a vote to cast, this is for your favorite NPC. We've already done favorite soldier character. That is the list up above. It was a tie between Cadigan and Wikander, if you guys missed it. Then we moved on to favorite NPC. Currently, Hawkins is winning, followed closely by Lady Aranessa, and then tied for 3rd is Obed Morn and Dame Morgaine. Then we have the Black Rabbits, Cosgrove, and Skinner, all with 1. So now we're going to get down to like the last minute or 2 for you to cast your vote if you haven't already. And then we will move into the favorite villains. Could you give one to Tyranny? Now, I very specifically told everybody that votes were off and canceled. So what I'll do here for you is I'll do a parentheses 1, and I'll add you on. I'll add you on right there. We had to stop the vote. That's fine. Yeah, we'll put you on for that. Also, if you guys haven't already, do me a solid. If you're on YouTube, click the thumbs up button, engage with it, hype it, all that sort of stuff to hopefully get more people in here. If you're on TikTok, double tap your screen. And if you're on Twitch, give me your Prime sub. Sorry, last call for votes for favorite NPC. All right, last call. We'll do another countdown. We'll start it from 15 this time. We'll go 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Loki, thanks for joining the Discord. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, a 2, a 1. All right, we're locking it in. There it is with the winner. But no, they probably have. You just probably have to refresh for that. I'm going to assume more people have given it a thumbs up, Dane. It might just not have loaded, that's all. All right, so there we go. Winner with, all right, let's count up the votes. We're going to say Hawkins was the winner with 9 votes, and then we had 10, 19, 22, 25. We got less votes, but more people in here. Yeah, Jump. Yeah, you just had to refresh, that's all. Yeah, that is shot. We have 46 viewers on YouTube alone. And yet we only got 25 votes, guys. We didn't vote for our favorite NPCs. All right, we're moving on to villains. All right, let's get another table going. Insert table. Let's go with, like, I don't know, 6. So we know we have Primus Draconis. We have Yenneса Halavar, the Photarch. We have Univir Draconis. We have the Tailors. We have Sallow the Hag. We have Casimir. And we will add in, insert row below, Tyranny's Sisters. Do we have any others that we think need to be on the villains list? Or is this, do we think this is solid for the villains? Do we think we need more? Like, we can add Ethrind, we can, but again, like, are we adding people that actually, yeah, that is the Photarch. Or was that your vote, Jason? Are you already voting? If anybody has another villain, we'll leave it open for a minute or two to see if people have another villain that we can add to the list, and then we'll start taking votes on that. And while we wait for people to give ideas, I'll throw another thing in here real quick, and say, if you guys want to support me making content like this and continuing to try to do it full time, consider becoming a member on YouTube. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee a month. I think it's like $4 or $5 a month that you can support the channel. You can also subscribe to my Patreon. That way you get stuff with your subscription. I think it's like $3 or $4 a month. Again, a cup of coffee a month helps me out. There are great ways to do that. There's also super chats if you just want to do it that way. That's great as well. So those are some great ways to show some support. Did Augustus' brother die? No, Ethrind. That brother is still alive. Yenneса has my vote hands down. Jason says that was his vote. So we already have 2 votes here. I'm going to throw mine in as well. Yennesa gets my vote. Start throwing in some votes. Here we go. Your favorite villain. Right now we have Primus Draconis, Yennesa Halavar, aka the Photarch. Univir Draconis, which is Skullface Force user. The Tailors, Sallow Hag, Casimir, or Tyranny's Sisters. Patreon is the best deal. I agree, Mama Hun. We got more time with Casimir, but Univir gets my vote. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Univir is super cool. Super cool. Photarch Halavar for Kevin, Photarch for Roma, and Photarch for Jay. So we just got 3 more votes. Jin with it as well. Yeah, she just, and the thing is, she's a villain in such a different sense. Kathy's given one to Primus. All right, Primus is up there. Before I say, Dame says, I'm going to go with Casimir because he's driven a majority of the episode so far. Betrayals, dark motives, the impact of the party, connections to the Hag, literal impact. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think it's so cool because we have these different things. Like, you just explained your reasons. In terms of the story itself, massive, like, impact. In terms of, like, being a powerful evil being, you have Primus. And then, and yet Yennesa's winning so much, and what she is a freaking politician. Like, she's the church and politician. Isn't that not crazy that the villain that we're all like, that's that villain right there, is the freaking religion politician? That's crazy. Bream says Photark. Dr. Caliban says Photark. So there's 2 votes there. Only one I recognize is Yanessa. Daniel says Primus. Okay. Ellie also says Yanessa. So Primus is there. We'll go to 10 for this. So funny. I can't stop talking like her. Yeah. Red Sack says Yanessa. Oh, this isn't even close. Jimmy, I'll also go with Yanessa. Fun switch of accents. Yes. So we go to 12. Loki says Primus. Emma says Yanessa, so we'll do that. And then here's the one for that. So just locked in Emma and Loki. Yanessa is so popular. I agree, Mechanic. I think the reason Strikes Chord is the amount of church trauma many apparently got like, well, just in general. Like, one, she was played so well, and she reminds me of, oh, I can't remember character names now. The mother or grandmother that is the one who is responsible for Joffrey's death in Game of Thrones, and at the end she's like, I wanted to know it was me. That's kind of who she tries to be as, in a way of just being like, I'm this older person and I'm running this thing and I'm really smart and I know how to manipulate people and get the things that I want. Like, she's so good at like the politicking. Yeah, the Tyra, Elena Tyra. Yes, that is the first kind of thought I had, was like this person behind the scene. That is just like, I'm running this, and and the line she had, the one about like, what do you do when you don't have an army or whatever? Like, you start a church, it was just like, oh man. I love Yanessa, and it's cool that like everybody, seems to be a big fan. Primus is cool in a very different way. Like, don't get me wrong. Primus is cool in a very different way, as is Univere. I think Univere is super cool. The Taylors were super crazy. But Yanessa is so different. They're so different. Game of Thrones in this campaign. Oh yeah. See some Craster there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I think this one, and guys, you can still cast votes if you haven't already. You can still cast some votes for favorite villain. Feel free. We've already done, for anybody just tuning in, we did favorite NPCs. Hawkins barely won, 2 over Lady Aranessa for that. And then for favorite soldier, there was a tie between Cadigan and Wikander. So let's go back down for villains here. Sherry goes with the Sisters. Okay, we'll throw a vote in there for Sherry. I started thinking Primus, but you all got me voting for Yanessa now. Did I already count yours anywhere? Are you changing yours, or is this your first vote? I don't think I marked you down before. I think this is your first vote. So let me get you in there, Stephanie. So you're going to Yanessa. She's just so cool. Again, Primus is spooky in his own way. Like, he's very much just like, I'm powerful and I will kill you myself, versus like I'm going to swindle the world to get the things I want. For Primus, let me get solid. I think I did. Primus going to his guys with the dogs. No, David. Primus wasn't the one with the dogs. Primus is Octus's dad. He's the one who rips the skull out of Julian's father. It's scary because she's something we've all encountered in real life. Politicians, religious leaders that are trying to control people are just insidious. I'm with it. It's good. Lots of NPCs to track. Yeah. The one with the hounds inside, like the Halabar's place, was his uncle. Was Wick's uncle. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But he's the one who had the hounds with like the glow in their throat. I agree, Kevin. They were super cool, but like they're not like main story villains or like heads of houses and stuff like that. So, I mean, the 2 with the most votes are the heads of the houses. Right? You got Primus and Yanessa Halabar, the Photark. All right, so we've done those, so we can go back up to this. And bring down the list for next options. So NPCs are done. We did villains as well. We're not going to do all of these, so I'll put a poll up for the next one over on YouTube. Real quick. Next list. And we'll say episodes. What else? Yeah, we'll go biggest mystery. One-liners. All right, episodes, biggest mystery, and one-liners. I think those are the ones I'm looking at for what we're going to vote on next. So let's just limit it to those three. All right, there you go. Go ahead and vote on what we should do next for the tier list. It's over on YouTube. Episodes, biggest mystery, or had so much fun. Hey, thanks for being here, Jay. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for being here. I do a pre-show, by the way, every single week before the episode airs for Critical Role. I do a pre-show. I'm going to start at about 7:45 p.m. and then run until about 9:45 p.m. So if you guys want to tune in, come hang out, talk, that will be the place and time. Yep, that is Eastern time. All right. Looks like right now we have biggest mystery as the thing. Well, no, biggest mystery has 50%, episodes has 36%, one-liners has 14%. So much fun, but I have school in 4.5 hours. Hey, if you gotta go, you gotta go. No, Tristan, there's no episode tonight. They don't come back until next week. Unfortunately. Yeah, they don't come back until next week. They took off 3 full weeks, like they weren't even thinking about us. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. It looks like we're going to do biggest mysteries. Actually, I'm gonna give it like another 30 seconds because we're at 33%, 47%, and 20%. So now is your chance, guys. If you want to vote on what the next tier list is, and while you guys are voting on what we're gonna do next, it's on the YouTube chat. I'm going to share the previous winners. So, favorite soldier character as rated by the community is Cadigan and Wikander tied at 9, Thimble in second with 4, and then Tayor with 2, and Tyranny with 2, plus Roma came in really late and gave another 1. But we don't really count it, but I put it there. Favorite NPC got 25 votes, and Hawkins won with 9. Lady Ernessa was next up with 7. Obed Morn and Dame Morgaine were tied at 3 each. And then the Black Rabbits, Dame Cosgrove, and Skinner all had 1. For the villain, it was a blowout for Lady, or the Photarch, Yanessa Halavar. That is Wick's grandmother at 14, Primus Ticonus with 3, and then Univir Ticonus, Casimir, and Tyranny's sisters came in at 1 apiece. And then it looks like our next poll is going to be biggest mystery. They weren't even thinking about it. It's exactly. We almost made it. We did. We have one more week. All right, I will end the poll, and we will do big. You tell me what you think the biggest mysteries are, because that's what's up. What happens to undead? So we're just gonna say like afterlife. Coffin. Octus's resurrection. What else we got? What else we got? What's up, Matt's character's butt? Stone of Night Song thing. Yeah, do we want to change instead of the Octus's resurrection? Do we just want to say Stone of Night Song? Yeah, we'll say Thiazi sees Falcon. Who betrayed the plan at the hanging? Well, that was Casimir. Casimir's the one who betrayed the plan and led to Thiazi's death. Oh, what was Thiazi planning? The Feywild. The Missions of the Sundered Houses. Is Julian cursed? I think we know he's cursed. I think that part's confirmed. What is going with Belair's soul? I don't know if he has one. Is Otis going to be okay? Well, he's dead. What was Ashley Johnson's character's relationship with her god? Okay. Can't take all of those. I like I said, I'm pretty sure we already know Julian is cursed. Belair's soul. I don't know. Sundered Houses ambitions. We have the Falcon with Thiazi, seeing the Falcon. We have that one. Roma. That one's on there. Do we have other big mysteries, we think? Actually beat Thiazi. Yeah. Let's do that. Julian. Well, just to keep it short, Julian and Thiazi. Yeah, because I definitely agree. Something happened with that. The mask dropped in the void. Yeah, the coffin. That's yeah. Sent one orchid gift. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the gift. Vexed1414. Congrats on receiving a gifted membership from Daniel. I appreciate that, Daniel. The other masks. Let's go plans forward, be part of the afterlife tag. I think so. That's the problem. Is like there are lots of questions that we have, and so like trying to Tayor's connection to the light is a great one. Yeah, I think that's a really good one. Tayor's light. Found under the bed. Yeah, so Ammon. So what they found, well, it wasn't under the bed, but the item, they didn't know it was a coffin. It was Bolair who came up, and when he looked at it all, he was like, "Wait, that's a coffin, like a halfling coffin." It's in my notes somewhere. To a specific, it's basically like the coffin of a halfling. That was basically the halfling angel of death. Where are my critical role notes? So here's what in my notes about the coffin. Tyson touched the stuff in it. There was a turn to cold mist and fog. She collapsed unconscious. Bolair comes up, rolls a 24 Arcana. He recognizes Kessian, which is a halfling language with celestial glyphs. Obsidia, which is an archaic term, refers to the afterlife. This is a coffin for a halfling. And then I think later on when he and Yes, when he and Murray went, I have written down Coffin of Obalad, the Sister of Mists, which is basically the halfling angel of death. So that was the Coffin of Obalad. Boom. That's my notes. Lots of assets, I think. Terror's connection to the light, the masks. Said that she was so close to her god when they died, and she was holding the stone to have the soul, whatever. I feel like for this, like it's almost like we could just say Valus, and that would be enough. But we'll say plus her god. So many good messages. We were just starting. Message retract. Oh, you deleted it. I thought it said restricted. I was like, why is that? If you have a halfling psychopomp god that's freed and you have a bunch of dead gods, doesn't it seem like for Shadow and God's resurrection? I don't know. All right. I think we're going to leave this list as it is for the biggest mystery, and I can't see them all, so we're going to have to zoom it out. I'm sorry if it's harder to see now. But this is our vote for biggest mystery or thing that you have the biggest question mark over. The thing you're most excited to find out. Oh, you want to add like, why did the Taconis take Sid? Sure. So this is our list. Hold on. This one's going to be a harder poll. Like the other votes that you guys have done, like favorite NPC, favorite character, all that, I feel like is you just say it. Cadigan's backstory. Biggest mystery, Cadigan's backstory. I mean, I'll add it, but this tier list is, I don't know. I don't feel like this is like a biggest mystery tier list. This is just, what are things we don't know? Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like what are things we don't know? If the Tacona stuff is tied to afterlife stuff, yeah, we'll just add that in there to make that clearer. Yeah, we'll say that. All right, so Elmer, so we'll say this. Lil Bun Bun says for this one. Let's start getting some votes in. If you remember, Belair said that he was blackmailed about the odds he could have been lying to the person. Oh, no, I 100%. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely possible he was lying. Elmer says the Feywild. All right, let's start casting some votes here for what you think it is. Kevin says the Stone of Night Song. And just remember when I say that you did it, so I know that I didn't miss a vote. But yeah, you start casting your stuff here. Loki says Afterlife. This is what you think is your biggest mystery. Go ahead and cast it, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, or anything else. Amon on TikTok says coffin for me. He wants to know about the coffin. Daniel says, I vote for Thiazi and Falcon. Possible reincarnation angle is very interesting. That would be interesting. I wonder why he would look up at it and seem like shocked. And if it's already there, it's being reincarnated into it, right? Like that's where I'm kind of like, Sherry with Feywild. All right. The light in general, but yeah, Tayor's thing. Yeah, I'm also intrigued. And so is Wakander, apparently. Thiazi's plan. Oh, I thought I had that on here. Did I not have it on here? Says Icona, Tayor's light, Jolene Thiazi. Oh, right there. Got it. I go the Suttered House's ambitions. All right, so I just got Emma's, Daniel Kobol's, Romama, and David is going with, David James is going with Afterlife, though Julian Thiazi's and houses are close. Afterlife, got it. All right, Dane's vote. Stone of Night Song, characters impacted by this mystery so far. Octus, Thimble, Valus, Belair, Murray. Okay, so it's all about that impact. Did you say it earlier? No. Right? Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't count it earlier. All right. So, Stone of Night Song. Yeah, there's a lot of impact there. There's no doubt. So again, it's just a matter of how are you going about your vote. Some of it's just, I want to know. No, I'm the vote. Okay, that's what I wasn't sure, but I marked him down. And Stephanie will be number 3 for Stone of Night Song. All right. If you guys just got here, because we're up to 62 now, we are currently doing votes from the community. So previously we had done favorite villain, a favorite NPC, favorite soldier character, and we have moved on now to vote for the biggest mystery. So these are the things that people are most curious about. Are the gods coming back? We can't add another one, Mama Hun. Which one do you want? Julian's dad dying. Yeah. But feel free to throw yours. Oh, we're voting. Sorry, I was buffed. No, you're good. Yeah, we're in the voting stage. That would have been a good one though. Like I support that. I just want to go back and add it now, and then people might want to change their mind. So we're leaving the list as is. These are for anybody to share what they would like to vote for. I'm curious on Valus and her god. Okay, Dennis, Valus and her god. That is your vote. You are locked in. Also, welcome in. Thanks for being here. If you guys haven't already, click that thumbs up on YouTube. Double tap your screens on TikTok. Help with the algorithm and engagement. And if you haven't already cast your vote for your biggest mystery of campaign 4, throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. I also feel like I kind of want to swap the display capture to... No, wrong one. To this. Also, for those you don't know, these are my notes for when I'm watching episodes. These are my notes that I do to do the recaps. If you guys watch my recaps, this is we're on episode 6, guys. Don't worry, we're getting there. We're almost there. All right. And now we will go back to this. All right. So there's fascinating concept, but Tayor's light for me. Okay. Let me get for Ellie, Tayor's light. I don't think. Tell me if I. Oh wait, no. The Souls Afterlife are fascinating concepts, so I'll vote for that. Okay. Sorry, me scrolling through all that and doing all that messed me up. I went up too far. Started counting votes. I think I already did. All right. Dinah was the last one I did. Curiosities in this campaign. There are so many. So how promises have been, but it went wrong. Now how's Orc fighting the underworld with the Aussies trying to fix the mess? That would be wild, Journeyman. You think that the Aussie switch places, like the Aussie is actually Hal. Kathy says sundered houses. Okay, got that. Tayor's light connected to Wick's light. Is that sort of based on the list? No, that's just a, like, where does it come from? Like, how is he doing things that Wick can do when Wick believes it comes from the light? Is what that is, Jimmy. Let me know if that's what you want to vote for. Coffin as it's getting so many things on the list. Do you think you can insight check Belair? Yeah, I think you can. I just think they've rolled poorly. Who is Tierney's pact with? See, that would be a new thing on this list if we want to do that. But I think it's with the dude in the pits or whatever. Yeah. Cadigan's backstory is what Mama Hun wants to go with. Okay. For a law enforcement member and refresh, this good list. Yeah, no, it definitely brought forward a bunch of stuff. We're like, oh wow, we don't know all of this stuff. Which is kind of crazy. Anybody else? Now is we're doing last call here. This one has gotten the least votes, I think, out of all the other lists that we've done. I think we've gotten the least number of replies to this one. Let's see, we got 4, 5, 8, 10, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, only 17 votes for this one. Whereas, let's see, we had gotten, what was it? Is that 20? And then this one was 25. We've gotten less, despite the fact that the number has gone up almost double, we have gotten less votes per category. Coffin was my vote. I think I got that, unless that was somebody else's. That might have been somebody else's. Any other votes? Any other votes for what is your biggest mystery from campaign 4 so far? Do another 10, 15 seconds. Put in for Coffin, but I have something else on my mind not on that list. Oh, well, feel free to share. We won't add it to the list, but you can definitely throw it in there. Mysteries are hard because they come in layers and are slowly revealed. The harder. No, I agree with you. Is why it's no. I totally get it. Mama Hunt and Dane, yeah. No, I get why it's gotten. I just figured people would just throw one out at the very least and just be like, that's what I'm gonna pick. I haven't voted. I don't know that there's one that I'm like most interested in. I'm leaning kind of towards like what the thing with Julian and Thjazi was. I also really like Cadigan's backstory. Like, I want to know what that is. I'm not as worried about like why they closed the Feywild. What the Draconuses are doing in the afterlife or the undead, I am intrigued by. So all of those are kind of up there for me. Personally. All right. Well, if that's that one, it looks like let me undo all these so it's still there. It looks like Afterlife is the winner. Starting to invade the Feywild. Yeah, that's yeah. So with this one, we are Afterlife with the most votes. So what is that? 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 votes. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. We've done 4 polls. We've done favorite soldier character, we've done favorite NPC, we've done favorite villain, we've done biggest mystery. We have episodes, dialogues, combats, character moments. So I'm going to throw a poll up. This might be the last one we do, so think about that before you answer. Next ranking. Let's go. Episodes. Dialogue lines. Combats. Character moments. All right. The poll has been started. If you guys want to vote on the next ranking, what do we rank next? By the community, what do you guys want to rank next? You have your options up there on YouTube. Feel free to select. Well, don't do videos. Well, I also did one on NPCs. We still did NPCs. And the villains were in that one. So, I mean, we did those. I don't mind. I mean, it's just sharing it, you know. It's because this is you guys. It's your community votes. Right? This is just for you guys to get to share as a group and kind of determine those, because yours are different than mine, right? Like, not all of our choices are the same. I also did a tier list, so mine was like I put multiple things in S, multiple things in A, multiple things in B, you know, whereas you guys were just doing like who's getting the most votes. sort of thing. I might have to figure out if I can turn this into videos of their own, though. This might be something where I can edit these in a way that I can upload them as like community votes on their favorite character, community votes on their favorite NPC, except for, 26 votes, 25 votes. I mean, it's, it's not like a large chunk of the population here. Yo, what up, Spooderman? Thanks for liking the live on TikTok. Thanks for sending the heart. Came in late, so there is that. Yeah, no problem. All right, right now we have a tie between combats and character moments. All right, combats just took a lead with 16 votes. We're at combats with the most. I have enjoyed seeing other votes. Some stuff I didn't even think about. Yeah, that's fair. No, this has been really cool. Even if it's not nearly as many people as I thought, that would vote. I think it's been really cool to see people's perspectives and ideas on stuff and all that. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's one. It also lets me remind you all that I do a pre-show, and next week with Critical Role returning, we'll be back for a pre-show. So make sure you guys come hang out with me and the rest of the community next Thursday at about 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. We will be here talking everything from the last episodes as well as the 11th episode, which is where we will be. Tie in with what that's very true. Actually, a lot of characters' moments do tie in with one-liners. Like, people will probably be all about Thimbles. They'll be like, her thing where she said, "Can you hear it now?" is a great one-liner and a moment, right? Like, that's 100% factual. Yo, Ronan, thanks for the subscription. Azuna and AR, that's a good one too. There's just so many. Yo, what's up, Odie? For those of you who are just joining, I will very quickly. There are lots of lurkers in here, but that's okay. We've also gone up like 20 in the relative recent. So I'm gonna go over real quick what we've already voted for. So you guys, if you're new in here, you missed these votes, but that's okay. We're about to do another one. We did votes for favorite soldier character, and Cadigan and Wikander ended up tied at 9 votes each. Thimble had 4, Tayor and Tyranny had 2 each, and then one that came in much later. Then we moved on to favorite NPC, and we had Hawkins win. That is one of the Hounds of the King of Timony with 9. And then we had Lady Aranessa come in with 7 for second place. Then Dame Morgaine, another Hound, and Obed Morn, the Gnome Man, each got 3. And then we had the Black Rabbits, Dame Cosgrove, and Skinner get 1 each. Then we moved on to villains. We got Primus Daconis at 3. We had Yanessa Halavar, the Photarch of the Halavar family, blow everybody out with 14 votes. Univir got 1. Casimir and Tyranny's sister got 1 each. And then we did the biggest mystery so far, and lots of spread votes on this one because this is very much just like what are people most interested in. The whole thing going on with Daconis and the afterlife and all that had the most at 4. Coffin got 3. Nightsong got 3. The Feywild and Sundered Houses each got 2. The Ozzy sees a Falcon. What was the Ozzy planning? Got 1 each. Tayor's Light thing got 1. Valus and her God got 1. Cadigan's backstory got 1. And then now there's a poll currently running to decide what we do next. And it looks like right now, Character Moments is winning by probably about 1 vote, maybe 2 against Combats. So if you haven't voted yet, on YouTube, there is a poll. Vote now. I'm going to go ahead and decide or lock it in about 10 or 15 seconds. So I'll just pick whichever one has the most votes, and that will probably be the last one that we do. I don't think you expect a live since CR is off, kind of stumbled in. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a factor in it. you know, I tried to post earlier on YouTube as a post, just saying like, hey, I'm going to be here. I think that in combination with, you know, somebody else going live around the same time, and all that could have also impacted. I also think, I said this earlier, that me streaming Battlemarked recently, I think hurt my YouTube channel. I think live streaming Battlemarked hurt my YouTube channel, which is unfortunate because I enjoy doing it and I've liked that. But I think people started to get those notifications that I was live on that, and they started like not paying attention or turning off notifications or whatever, and therefore we've gotten less people through there. But okay. Oh no, we're tied. Somebody has to change their, or somebody else needs to vote. Somebody vote between combats and character movements. We're currently tied at 33% each. Combats or character moments. If you haven't already voted in the poll on YouTube, decide what our next tier list will be. Be the person who decides what our next tier list will be. As we have 21 votes, it is 30. Oh, there it is. Character moments at 36%. So whoever cast that vote, I'm ending the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. We shall do. We will do. What do we think? Best character moments. Best character moments. Oh, you're not capitalized. Best character moments. All right, start giving me examples, people. What do we want to put on here? Insert table. We of course will go with Thimble's battle with Casimir. What else do we want to do? See moments at 36. Yeah, that's it. Moments ended up winning. Specifically, if you glow ups during combat. Well, we got to pick one or two. Character moments. Belair reveal. Ooh, that's a good one. Belair reveal. The mask reveal. Okay, Ellie, yeah, same thing with that one. I'm with that. Octus dead, then kind of not dead. Octus's death / return. That one, I read that one like a book. Like, that was not surprising to me at all, which is why I was like, meh. I hate Wick. Wick's memory of the parable from his grandmother's writing decision to burn her house to the ground. That was pretty epic. Wick, Gmaul, parable, burn house to the ground. We'll add that one. Tayor at the Halavars. What moment, Jason? Like, what thing at the house? Oh, are we talking about when he does this whole like swooshing of the mane when he rolled the nat 20 to like lift the thing up? Are we talking about that? Cadigan with the knife in Tyranny. Cadigan plus Tyranny knife scene. All right, I can make this bigger again. Found out Thimble and saw the rune had been swapped, is in his reaction and buying his head and zoning out, felt like guilt. Might accidentally leak the info because maybe he was helping. So if it's that, a Wick growing wings first, we're just going to was cool. Well, this isn't the combat. This is character moments. Oh, Julian's reaction to Octus resurrection. That's a good one. Tayor main swish after lifting wagon. Is that how you spell main, by the way? Lion's mane. Yeah, nice. Nailed it. Super smart. Thimble killing Casimir and Light. Yeah, so that's what this is. Thimble's battle with Casimir. Julian, or I'm sorry, Wick basement with Gmaul plus Angel. The help screen was a really nice one. All right, Dr. Jezebel. We'll add that. Remember, guys, try to make these moments in particular. All right, Dr. Finger from Anthony Swan got that one. Valus's entrance. Valus's entrance. Wick recognizes he's been used as a pawn as a failed figurehead and then taking ownership of his destiny. That's just like, so here's what I mean by that, which I love that, Dane, but like some of these are so broad and they happen across multiple things. So like being like that, it's like he kind of understands that across like episodes 5 through 10. You know, like there are multiple moments of like coming to or realizations or doubts or whatever throughout all of it. For best character moments, we're looking for moments. So some of these, even it's kind of like, you know, are these the best character moments or are these just cool moments with characters? Right? So for those of you given, because, you know, there's been a couple others that I might have skimmed over. Like, are they like, for instance, Julian cleaning house, you could tie in and say, well, it was, you know, the moment of his reaction to his father, but it's also not like where my mind is with that. Yeah. Being saved from his Bees what's on the menu. Terror being saved from having a shadow cheese grated. So for that moment, it's kind of like, would it be Wick and Tyranny saving? Tayor being saved from Taylor's. I can add that on there, but it's also like, is that a big character moment or was that just a cool moment in the show? Right? Like that's where I think it's like, I'm viewing this as like best moment for a character. You know, again, Thimble's line, killing Casimir. So here's how I'm viewing it. Thimble killing the person that she wanted revenge on the most in the world and hitting a sick one-liner of, can you hear it now? That is a character moment. Right? Like that's like a holy smokes character moment. Versus like Octus's death and return. A big moment. That one's fair. Belair's mask reveal. Big character moment. I think Julian's reaction to Octus's resurrection of yelling at him and that was a big character moment. That's kind of how I'm viewing some of these. Yeah. Couldn't hit a wet bag. Yeah, no, I mean, we could say Julian destroying during Takona's fight. Canna growing wings. That's a good one. Also, welcome in, Crow. All right, I've got to do another boom so we can see them all. All right, so currently our list of best character moments includes Thimble's battle with Casimir, Belair's mask reveal, or the fact that he is a mask, Octus's death and return, Wick talking about the parable from his grandmother and stating that he was going to burn the house to the ground. Oh, catting, what the heck? Cadigan and Tyranny knife scene. Julian's reaction to Octus's resurrection. Tayor's main swoosh. I'm going to say instead of swish, we're going to go with swoosh. After lifting the wagon at the Halibars. The Wick basement moment with his grandmother introducing him to the angel. When he screams help. While inside. Dr. Jezebel finger with Casimir. Baelis's entrance. Tayor being saved from the Taylors. Julian destroying during the Taconis fight. And Wikander growing wings. So let's start throwing. You know what we're going to do when we should have done from the beginning? For some of these? I'm going to number them. And you're going to put the number in the chat. For which one you want to do. It's because otherwise you have to type all this stuff. All right, so go ahead and put your number in for which one you're going for. It looks like the first one, Belair Mask, number 2. All right, so we got 1 for 2. Elmer's going for 1, so we got 1 for 1. Go ahead and throw the number in there. For which moment you think was the best character moment? Vote is number 1. All right, Bees adds in. Number 1 has 2. Daniel going in with 4, the parable moment. That was a really cool scene. Denna's going with 11, Baelis's entrance. Chrome going with 10. Dr. Jezebel Fear, he says, obviously. 8 for me is unbeatable, says David. Wick Basement, Gmail and Age. That was a massive reveal, no doubt. No doubt. All right. Scratchy, welcome in. Says 8. Lil Bun Bun says 8. Okay, so we're taking 8 up to number 3. Bidet, all happy Thursday. Hey, what up, Yet It Is? 8 is my pick from Jimmy as well. All right, we're already up to 4. Emma Duke going with number 2. 8 was really good, but I maintained Thimble. That's fair. No, I mean, those moments, Thimbles, so I'll say this. Thimbles was more of a character moment in the sense of, like, I've accomplished something. Wick with the grandma in the basement was a character moment in the sense of, like, my earth is shattered. My world is shattered. Like, they're very different moments. Kathy Johnson with number 2, Belair's Mask reveal, moving up to 3. 2, Thimble made their moment their own. Wait, so Stephanie, you put 2, but that's Belair's Mask, and you talked about Thimble. So before I put you down, Stephanie, were you going for actually number 1 with Thimble, or were you locking in for Belair's Mask? Roz says 8 was great. I see what you did there. Bombaruski, what's up, dude? Welcome back. Says number 8. Oh no, what did I just do? I deleted it. Okay, I just clicked on the wrong thing. All right, so that's 6. Jason's going with 2. That takes them up to 4. I would definitely put number 2, Belair's reveal. Such a great moment. I agree, Yet It Is. I agree. Mint 1. Gotcha, Stephanie. That's why I asked. I'm glad I did, because I don't want to get your vote wrong. All right, move that one up to 3. Best character moments, guys. Now is the time to cast your vote as a community as to what the best moment is. Right now, Belair's Mask reveal is in second to Wick's basement moment with his grandmother discovering that his light comes from a captured prisoner angel, his grandfather. And then we have Thimble's battle with Casimir, the "Can you hear it now" line, which was super epic. Is in third place with 3 votes. So if you guys haven't already voted, and Ellie, I didn't get yours. You said 2. Ellie takes Belair's to 6. I keep looking over here. Allfather said 7. I don't think I counted that one either. Allfather, I got you. I need to look at these chats. Sleep Starved, I vote Master Reveal is number 1. I think I got you. This is my all chats, and I keep just looking at YouTube chat. So if I have missed you, Ellie, or somebody else, I apologize. Did love the "Can you hear it now?" That was so good, Bomb. That was so good. Jizz Finger MD. Pretty hype. So many good moments haven't seen the other tables. That's very true. On the show, guys. Love this thing we all like. I agree, B. Sherry Cook coming in with 8. Daniel coming in with 8. All right, we just got 2 more for 8, taking it up to the number 8. Come and do it like an auction. And the battle of the Casimir, 3, 3, 3, going to the boat layers, mass reveal, 7, 7, you know, something like that. But all right, Wick Basement is currently in first place with number 8 at 8 votes. You guys can definitely throw in for any more votes if you haven't already. Toss them in on 20 cancer. Oh, thanks, Bob. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, we hit 20K on Instagram yesterday. I think it was yesterday. So that's pretty rad. If you guys aren't already following me on some of these other platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all those things, I am there. Please do consider throwing a follow or sub or whatever. Any other votes, guys? I'll give you another like 30 seconds or so. If you haven't already cast your vote on best character moment, now is the time to do so. I'm also realizing you guys can't see the bottom one, so let me move that up because Wakander Growing Wings is down there. Yep, and give a like, a thumbs up on this video if you're on YouTube. Double tap your screen if you're on TikTok. Basement Scene just set the world of story so well and support for Wix Stages campaign. No, I agree. That was an epic moment. That was super, super good. I think Wix had several really cool moments. I think Sam has really leaned into it. Something I've appreciated from Sam and Robbie in particular is that they are playing more as their character than their person. Like, they're making bad decisions. They're doing things on a whim based on other stuff because they're like, in this world, as this character, this is what I would do. Are the schemers the next table? We don't know. I would say the fact that we got the schemers meeting together as the cold open of episode 10 makes me think maybe they are the next table, but we just really don't know. They haven't announced it. Is there an episode tonight? No, they don't come back till next week. Thinking makes it so. Unfortunately, there is nothing until next week, which is why we're doing like a tier list, community tier list voting this week. To remind you all that we do a pre-show every Thursday before Critical Role airs. We're going to be doing it at 7:45 Eastern next week. It's about 9:45 Eastern. So hopefully I will see you guys there. We'll be talking about everything that happened in the previous 10 episodes and then what we're expecting from episode 11. So the pre-show will be next week about 7:45 p.m. So you guys better be there. All right, last 10 seconds for votes on best character moment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Best pre-show on YouTube. Appreciate it, Bomber. 4, 3, 2, 1. And thank you, David, for agreeing with that. All right, that is locked in the vote. So let's see. So we got 13, 14, 15, 23, 25 votes on that one. Oh, Mama Hunt, I'm gonna count your vote. You said 2. We'll boop that up. We have a tie. We'll bump it up to 6. And that'll put us at Belair's Mask Reveal and Wick Basement Scene both being tied at 8 apiece. Their Discord live chat was better than well, we don't have to target with that. I do appreciate it. There is a Discord. It's down in the description. If you guys haven't already on YouTube, if you want to join the Discord, we do a live chat during the actual episodes. It's not as busy as Beacon. You can actually have a little back and forth and engage with each other if you want to. That is all there. So if you're interested in checking that out, link in the description. Shout at the very end. Well, just for this vote, like I'm not necessarily ending right this second, but we were counting down for the best character moment vote. And anybody who just joined, because again, we're up to 70 something now. These are the community votes that we've had tonight. We did a community vote for favorite soldier character. Cadigan and Wakander were tied at 9 votes each. We did a favorite NPC vote. Hawkins won with 9 votes. These are all the different NPCs that received votes. Lady Aranessa was second with 7. We did for favorite villain thus far in the campaign. Yanessa Halavar, aka the Photarch, was the firm leader at 14. We did, I don't know why this is so much larger than the rest of them. Can I, hold on. There we go. The Afterlife, what is Taconis doing with the undead and all that? That took the vote for the biggest mystery. And then we just did best character moment with a tie between Belair's reveal and Wick in the basement with his grandma. Those are the votes that we currently have. Also, Bomb, thanks for joining the Discord. Cannot pick a favorite character. You don't think so? Out of the soldiers? I'm not going to count anything that you guys, if you guys haven't already, if you weren't here for this and you want to share yours in the comments below, I will add them as like a plus. For these, I won't include them in the main numbers since I closed the voting on it. I know it doesn't really mean anything, but somebody might slip in and cast a second vote, and so I don't want to, like, you know, mess it up. But if those of you just joined, Bees or Lat, if you would like to cast a favorite soldier character vote, feel free to throw it in the chat right now. B says, Dennis says Thimble. Okay. Thimble's your favorite. We'll add a +1 there. Dan Morgan is my favorite NPC. Bees. Okay. I will even add a little +1 there for you. Dan Morgan is awesome. Thimble is cool. Not my favorite, but cool. My favorite was Wick. Scully goes with Wick. Scully, that's a good vote, dude. Yeah. And if any of you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I post Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons, and other nerd culture content. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please click that subscription button. Again, give this a thumbs up. Crumb says, I think the Stone of Night Song and the Coffin are both psychopomp-related artifacts that the houses need to essentially privatize the afterlife with the odds of stealing, collecting to sabotage. That's a solid theory. That is a solid theory. All right, and then we'll move down. So that was the vote for favorite soldiers. If you guys have a vote for favorite NPC and you haven't already cast a vote, feel free to share. The best of the soldiers is clearly Wulfric. And ain't Wulfric. Some people did bring up whether he should be on the soldiers list or if he should be on, like, the NPCs list. And I figure if we ever get a companion list, he'll be on that one. But he is neither a member, like an actual soldier, nor is he like actually an NPC, because he's basically played by Robbie, right? So, or at least that's my ruling on it. It would be cool Wolfric could learn to talk to the other hounds. Well, the hounds aren't just like random pets or animals, right? Like, we now know the hounds are completely different entities in general. You know, like they're just a totally different beast when it comes to that. Like the wall climbing goat, yeah. I also did some random thing with a goat in my game. Like, they ran into some people in the desert, and I was like, they're on broad-hooved goats or something like that. I don't remember. I gave them some sort of name and just made it up. I don't know. There's something about goats. Had them stat like awakened war dogs. Yeah, I don't know how he has them statted. I like Wulfric being a smart dog and the hounds as ghost knights. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wulfric is a wolf companion, right? He's a normal, like, D&D wolf companion. I mean, there's probably some homebrew there, but the hounds are completely different. Like, they are knights that had pleasure loyalty to a degree that when they die, they come back as hounds, continuing to be loyal and supporting the king. With the baby coming out of its egg and its whole soul is probably best. What's Tyranny Code episode 1? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, well, we don't know. Yeah, so that is a mystery we could have put down, as like, how are the hounds able to do that? The druids are responsible for bringing them back. So I guess reincarnation is different than, like, the rest of it, like resurrection and things like that, which I think has been hinted at, right? Like, that's, I think, been something that has been seen before. Yeah, reincarnation, I think, is like the one thing that's sort of kind of allowed. A lot of questions. Oh, there's so much with the afterlife. Because I mean, we were just like, oh yeah, the gods are dead, and like they all each individually had like their own afterlife situation. And so it's like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they're shut down. She said she heard him as, yeah, that she always felt like his laugh or something sounded like a falcon. So she was like, I believe so. I think he's out there. That's crazy. Two more people got shot in Oregon by Border Patrol or something. I know the community started and there are a lot of character plots we've yet to explore, but it feels like there's been a lot of death baiting so far. So this is a hot topic, I think, in the community. Because some people are like, oh, well, we don't want characters to be dead. Like, why would you want them to be dead this earlier and it wouldn't mean as much, you know, which I understand. I just think they marketed it very heavily as dangerous and death coming. And then I agree, they've kind of baited that like people are going to be dead, and then they just haven't gone through with it. So it does feel like, I do think this is a more dangerous campaign. I do think that people will end up dying. But I would agree with that. I do think they sold it really hard on that idea. And then they've kind of, like I said, I think a description I gave was like, there have been like life rafts being thrown to people when they should be, you know, if you're gonna give them this super crazy danger, or you're gonna put them in a situation or whatever, but then you're just constantly like saving them from it. You're like creating an illusion of danger that isn't there. But yeah. From the entry of Sir Hawkins, they learned from the druids of the stag that souls can return many times to the world. The hounds asked to return and serve a king once more and were reborn. Okay. Stag. Blew up into a million birds? Wait. What? Oxus blew up into a million birds. So they had them all like ripped open and whatnot and came back. So that one, I mean, yeah, that was a little bit of a bait, but that one I felt like was incredibly obvious. Because, and then of course we found out there was like a narrative reason for that. It was like they decided to put in the story how Octus became a Hollowed One. He wanted to play a Hollowed One. He asked the Dungeon Master, hey, can I play a Hollowed One? He said, yes. Can we make you one in the game? And then they did that. And I also was like, there's no way that he's killing Octus, having his family kill him in episode 2, 3, in a situation that the players didn't like make mistakes to go to. Like you made the bad guy show up and kill him. Like that would have just been terrible dungeon mastering, and Brennan's not a terrible DM. So that was just super obvious he was not dead. Agreed, yeah. The afterlife has been a big topic of this campaign. It would feel cool if we got to see at least one of those afterlives. I agree. For characters to save them. Yep. Definitely more dangerous. I've been watching early campaign 3 and the fights were not as intense as that one. Yeah, no, it is more dangerous, but it's like dangerous without consequence so far. Are the deaths? I don't think so, Kathy. I don't think so at all. I'm pretty sure it's just for that combat. Now it could be that it's until the next long rest. Those are my two guesses. Either it's that combat or until a long rest. Your death saving throws stay. Yeah, the next shorter long rest is it. Short wouldn't be very meaningful to me. I think it would need to be a long rest. Bruh. What's up, Mikey? You would almost die. They should have a chance to save themselves as should DM. Again, I know why stuff is happening now where it's like, okay, you know, we're gonna kill off a character this early, we're gonna do it. Like, I get it, but it's also like, well, then maybe it shouldn't have been presented as such, right? Like It's kind of where it's like maybe that. Yeah. Mm, there's no way to get them back in some way they wouldn't be able to use the mechanic again. Yeah, it would be a one-time use. That's true, Jason. Very true. That is definitely not permanent. Definitely not permanent. Um, I fear for several of the characters in episode 11, them are in bad shape. If they would, yeah, no, if they went into a combat directly after that, like if they went out and they were attacked, oh yeah, they're probably done for. They're probably done for. Would gods like Vecna be alive? Or demigods lesser deities thing? We don't know that, Liberian. We, like, that's part of just not knowing as much about the world. We don't know if there are, like, demigods and stuff. We know that there are celestials, but they went crazy when the gods died. We know that there are demons, right? Like, we know these things, but, like, do we know if there are, like, demigods, lesser deities, and all that? We haven't heard about them. Univir is waiting in the wings. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are enemies there. There are enemies there. I don't know. I feel like they'll find a way to get out. They'll get on the wagon and like take the wagon out of the town or something like that, and just pretend. Or the hounds will join them because they'll be able to prove that the Takonas have done things to the hounds, and the hounds will be their backup and stuff like that. But they're definitely a little beat up right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Scully. Episode 10 was entire combat. Like from start to finish, it was combat. If we then went into episode 11 and it was combat the whole time, I would also be disappointed. Not that I'm like anti-combat, but it would be, I mean, it would be a little disappointing. Maybe the hounds, that's what I'm saying. I think if they either sneak their way out or the hounds join them and help. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that the elves are considered celestials or anything, Chrome, but they're definitely considered powerful beings. Like, yeah, children of Salandri, because that was their god and all that. And they're seemed as kind of these epic, warrior sorts of types, but, not to the level of like celestials and whatnot. What type do you want to see next? I don't really care. Like, I don't have a super hard preference. I would say I probably lean towards Seekers, mostly because they're like out in the world, and I think we'll learn stuff about more of the world, where they decide to go, what's going on with the undead, because they were heading towards Dolmar Pass. I also like Julian, so I guess I'm leaning Seekers right now, but it's not like if it's Schemers, there's not a bit of me that's going to be upset. He's a big old, yeah, he's a rock. Well, they're going to put him on the wagon. I mean, my thinking is they're going to take that wagon. Although they did kind of burn it, didn't they? So I guess maybe they can't take the wagon unless they can fix it. Maybe they'll have to make a roll to repair the wheel and then be able to take the wagon out. Certain card that Brennan allowed was not a 20 to put out. Yeah. Well, that's why I just don't know if it got damaged. But he did make sure to point out that like the fire and all that had like come back off of it, and that might have been his way of salvaging the fact that that's what he had planned as their escape. Right? He was like, "Oh yeah, you guys were supposed to get out on that thing, so." I'm curious how they're going to get characters like Hal and Belair out of the city, since the characters have really strong connection to the city that make it hard to leave. I think they're going to do something or threaten Hal's kids. That's my best one or best thought with Hal. Like if they need him to leave the city, I don't know if they will, but if they need him to, I think it's gonna be something with his kids. Blair, I think, he understands some of the workings of the world, and maybe he's like, okay, I need to go stop this. I need to go do something about this. But it's all just speculation. check out early, but I guess I'll see you later with Sun. Hey, peace out, little bumba. No worries, no worries. We're just kind of chatting about now, but I appreciate you hanging out. What other statues ahead of us the next episode? Yeah, we don't know what else is in there. One of them might be Royce, but we don't know, like, just because of the gauntlets. Other than that, we don't know. We don't even know if he's in there, or if they killed him on the road, or something else happened. Can they take the? Yeah, they can. They could probably get the bracers off of the Knight of Sarum. I imagine that that's going to be like the first magic item that they get from an enemy or whatever, because they got like the sword. But the strength bracelets, yeah. The Royce, what was his name that they took him off of? I have my notes. Callowin Royce's bracers. Callowin Royce's bracers. Well, that's what they said. The bracers had him lifting like a 2,000-pound statue overhead or something like that, or off the ground is how it was described by Brennan. But I mean, he might have just said 2,000 pounds, like, you know. Callowin's right. No, you're all good, Daniel. It's all good, man. I normally know just because when I'm watching it and I need names, you know, I have the subtitles on, so when I'm taking my notes, I can see it. Bare minimum, they have too many options to implement. Just depends what success happens on the road. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, sleep starved nerd. How do you ended up on my other TikTok account? I don't know if that was on purpose or not. You ended up on my alt where I just talk about anything and everything and rant. Our place PC should be a college, set of in college culture, the theater mask. Oh, I definitely think he's tragedy. Oh, that's true. They would need to attune to it. I mean, it depends. Like, you know, is that where they're going to draw the line on doing rules? Is that he's going to be like, oh, you got to wait an hour to attune to it, or he'll just say like, in the heat of the moment, it happens, right? Like that's the kind of thing that I think they'd bend the rule for. Anyway, bye. All right, Latverian, peace out. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. I do think we're probably about to call it. I know that I'm looking at all sorts of stuff now, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. About 2.5 hours. We'll be back next week, of course, with all that. Black Rabbit the best. They ended up with only one vote in our poll of the community, the chat, Samuel. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already clicked the sub button, consider doing that. If you haven't already clicked the thumbs up, do that as well. Yeah. Thanks, guys. If you want to become a member here and support me, consider doing that. If you want to go to my Patreon, linked in the description, go check that out. We'll be back next week at around 7:45 p.m. Eastern to do the Critical Role pre-show for episode 11. So, appreciate you guys. All right? Thanks for chatting. Thanks for participating. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right? Next week, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Pre-show. Let's get back to it. Let's have a good one. Hope to see you all there. Later, guys.